Welcome to Juice United show. I know it's a little bit late, but I had to take some time to think about what the hell just happened today. Oh my goodness me. I knew it was going to be a tough game. It was always going to be a tough game. Playing Newcastle, they're similar to us in terms of their transition of what they've been doing this season, how they've been playing. They've been very difficult to break down this season. They conceded one of the least goals in the league, I'm quite sure. And United, without Casemiro, we are a different kettle of fish. The same way Liverpool are nowhere near what they are anymore. Somehow they just can get beat massively now. I don't know who's missing from Liverpool. When you look at their team, it's all their players. But why are they getting battered nowadays? I don't know. But when you look at our team, we know why we're getting battered. Because there's no Casemiro. No Casemiro means no control. No control means players are everywhere. And when players are everywhere, you get run at and you get overrun all over the place. And that's exactly what happened today. Man United got overrun all over the place. Newcastle actually wanted it more than everything. It looked like Newcastle wanted it more than every single player of ours. But I beg to differ. It's all about organization and quality on the ball. We don't have another player who can actually take up the mantle when Casemiro is not playing. So he's going to hurt us. We've seen it already a million times. We saw it against Leeds at home, then again at Leeds away, and then also in Europa, away from home. We nearly got battered in all them games. We then played Leicester, should have got battered. Like, these are all the games where Casemiro is not playing. We are back to the same old United, easy to break through, easy to break down. I must say, with Erik ten Hag, he usually gets it right. He's been getting it right game after game after game. But for me, this was a game where he didn't get it right. And like we all say, we're the ones who can talk about what we saw happen and whether we thought he got it right. We know he didn't today. But I don't blame him for trying to do what he did. I don't blame him for not starting Martial because of his injuries and the amount of times he's broken down, and giving Weghorst a chance to still play once Martial is fit. I think he needs to work his way back into the side. And this was a time where you want to see that kind of thing happen. I knew we were going to be a bit too fluff up front because that's what Weghorst is. We know that's what he is. And I was expecting him to come off after 60 minutes and Martial to get 30 minutes of game time to see whether he can handle it. That happened. But the early on just reminded me of the cup game in the final but we had Casemiro. So we was able to weather the storm and then build some kinds of attacks. That's what the difference was against Newcastle before. We played a tight game. They had all the ball, remember? They had all the ball. They had times where they ran at us, but we just shut them down and we scored a set piece and then we counter-attacked them right at the end. This time round, it was their turn with no Casemiro. You know what? I told you, I said 1-1. I was just wishful thinking that hopefully we will get a goal. And I knew they were going to score. I was just thinking, hopefully we'll get a goal. And we don't want to, as Man United supporters, we don't want to be negative and say, I think we're going to lose. I actually had a feeling we were going to lose. But I did just want to say, you know what? There's a chance we can get a draw here. There's a chance. But yeah, we were just cruising for a bruising. The game starts. Saint-Maximin has his way with Dalot, man. He can take him. He's got so much body movement. It's ridiculous, Saint-Maximin. You can't handle that. Anthony and Dalot couldn't handle him. He was just all over the place today, and he was causing trouble. He was passing balls. So we missed Aaron Wan-Bissaka there, that's for sure. I think the defense had their work cut out. They cut out a lot of the play. I hope everyone can hear me. If not, just let me know. I will obviously sort something out. But yeah, look, man, it was not nice. It was not nice to see United backs against the wall for pretty much the whole game, not even having the chance to shoot. Mate, Facebook user, tell me who this is. But yeah, what happened today is United missed Casemiro. That's what we missed. We missed Casemiro. Casemiro not playing, like I said, it caused the rest of the team to be disjointed and not able to handle games like this against the better teams. We might be able to ride our luck against the Leeds who can't get a goal and will always give you a chance, but not a Newcastle. They are tight at the back. They don't really have many goals. They're kind of similar to us in terms of the goals scored. They've got much better goal difference to us, actually. So, and they're struggling to get, to get goals as a team. But us, man, it's tough. Up the gas, you know it. The Pirates, my old team, Bristol Rovers, of course. But yeah, when it coming back to the game, we struggled all game, man. We struggled all game. There's no ifs or buts. I mean, there's no excuses. We did not look like we could win that game. We had no chances. They had chance after chance. De Gea saved us. I was saying at halftime, we could have been 2-0 down. Should have been 2-0 down from their chances. Willock has that header. Keeper saves. De Gea pulls off a great save. Then the second half, Joe Linton heads, I think it's Joe Linton, heads the ball, should score. He pushes it onto the bar. That saves our blushes from being 4-0 or something down at St. James's Park. That's not nice to see. United struggling. And you know what's funny? Like I said a few weeks ago when we was about to play Liverpool, and my son's manager said, it's not sustainable what Manchester United are doing. I was like, what do you mean? Because the way they're playing, you look at the stats in the right areas, it's not sustainable. I do not expect them next season to be where they are this year. They cannot sustain being at this position. And it's like, what, how? Because we're riding our luck in too many games. And we're just like getting a goal from Rashford every now and again. Like he was on such a run that if he didn't score, then no one else would have scored. So we wouldn't have won them games. But he's saying basically, it's not often the players on such a run of hot form that you continue scoring. It's not often that you go end to end and then you get lucky and not concede goals. It's gonna average itself out in the end. And next season, you guys will be nowhere near it. I'm like, come on, man. We're gonna beat Liverpool, man. We're gonna beat Liverpool. Then they whooped us. But like that, I was even thinking, I had a false sense of thinking we were even in a championship race because of how good Rashford was doing. Rashford was doing so well, keeping us winning every single game. And then I wasn't saying it, me and Garth always knew this about Weghorst. We knew that all he has is hold-up play. And that's about it. And we was always saying that we just hope Martial can get fit so he can play again because we do need the ability to score goals. Although Weghorst could link up play, when you don't win games, you really, really understand. Even the players, the supporters who don't really understand the game underneath everything, underneath the bonnet, they don't understand the game. They're going to be like, Weghorst, not good. He's been playing like this the whole time. But it's just difference is we've been winning games. And he's linking up little bits of play. And then other players are scoring. And they're like, yeah, Weghorst is doing... No, Weghorst is doing an average job. As you can see, his goals to games ratio, he's playing nearly all the games for a top Man United team, and he's not scoring goals. That shows he's not a Premiership striker. He just isn't. And that's why he was at Burnley, and that's why he was on loan from Burnley when they went down to the Championship. So that just says it all about him. But look, we're happy that we have him in because we would have no one else. Stopgap, that's exactly what he is. Hopefully, we get Martial back, and hopefully we're doing... hopefully he is back, but hopefully he's going to be playing week in, week out from now on, and we can see out the rest of the season. But you know what? We got Brentford coming up. I'm telling you now, the Brentford game's going to be so tough, and so is the Brighton games, the two Brighton games, the Cup Brighton game and the League Brighton game at Old Trafford. I'm telling you, them two games there, they are more comfortable as a team than us. They have more balance about themselves than us. They are used to each other more. They're playing many more games than us. Now, I'm realizing that United are still far from the finished article, which I've always said anyway, but like it's becoming much more apparent now. But look, it is what it is. We lost the game. We didn't play well at all. I'll talk about the players in a minute. But look, yeah, we didn't. Get your comments in, whatever you want to get in. But look, I'm going to start with De Gea. I think I might need to move to the side to get De Gea in the middle right there. Let's see if we get him in. Yeah, there he is. So De Gea, you know what? De Gea did well. He did well. He did very, very well. Let me see if I can get myself in. Yeah, De Gea did very, very well. I think he saved us from being 4-0 down, 5-0 down. If he wasn't playing today, we'd definitely been 4-0 2 point-blank header saves. Done very, very well for us. And yeah, these are the games where you look at him and say, yeah, I'm so happy De Gea's in the side rather than someone else. And this is the thing. When we do get another keeper, he better be able to save shots like De Gea does. I'd rather a player save shots like De Gea does than pass the ball out. I don't want a keeper who can pass the ball out and then lets goals in for fun. I do not want to see that. But yeah, Jinwei says Newcastle New Vegas is having the ball, so they just went and pressed him. Exactly. They don't need to run back. They don't need to worry about anything. So this is what happens. Exactly what happens. And they press us, take the ball back, and just go on the attack. Anyway, De Gea, you get a 7 for me. Oh, my things are not in the right order. What has happened here? But anyway, let's go with Dalot. Dalot is on my list. So De Gea gets a 7 because he done very, very well in terms of shot stopping and saving shots. Dalot, for me, you're a 5 out of 10. 5. You did okay, but I think St. Maximan, let me see if I can move that out of the way. Yeah, St. Maximan kind of done his job on you. He had his way. He kind of like what he did against him in the cup final. He just had his way. He knew he had him for pace. He knew he had him for dropping a shoulder, and he can do what he wanted. And he just kept doing what he wanted. And he created chances for fun. That left foot curler into the box, causing so much trouble, dropping a shoulder, coming forward, going back. He just did what he wanted. So he done really, really well. Dalot tried his best. He worked hard. I think he stopped St. Maximan maybe once. But the rest of the time, it was like, oh, man, I wish Aaron Wan-Bissaka was here to shut this guy down like he did second half in the cup final. But anyway, he didn't manage to do it. So, look, 5 out of 10. Not too bad, is it? Right, let's go to Martinez. Is that Maguire? Martinez. What's Maguire doing in there? He's old. Let's go to... And let's say go to Shaw, actually. Shaw, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. I think he worked hard, did what he needed to do, but he wasn't at his best. He couldn't really get forward and do much, and he was called upon to do a lot of defending. He should have been able to do, he should have been working hard. He did work hard. It's just one of them games where we had to defend as much as we could. And for the most part, we did defend well. We did. We just couldn't get out of attack. We couldn't get the ball moving. We couldn't find someone in midfield to break up attack and beat the press. So, yeah. So, look, it was just one of them games. Sure, 6 out of 10, mate. Let's go with Varane. I'm giving him a 6 out of 10 as well. I feel like the whole back four, pretty much, I know Dalot got the 5, but I think Varane and Martinez both get 6s. They both worked hard, tried their best, cut out a lot of problems, had their work cut out. They did have their work cut out. I don't know why the orders come in such a different way today. I don't understand why this is happening to me. But look, we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, I think Martinez and Varane both get 6s. I don't know what you guys think in the comments, but they did work hard. They did do well. They had to come off towards the end to try and bring on a few more attackers, as the manager said. And that's what I thought. Jinwei says, I don't get why Ten Hag has taken Varane off because he's good in the air and like you need it in that situation. That's another thing. We know that the set pieces with Newcastle are very, very good. And for us to take off pretty much all of our bigger players, end of the day, look, we were losing. He was playing caution to the wind, trying to get a win. And that's really what happened. It wasn't anything else. He was like, look, let's just go for it. We're down. Only got a few minutes left. Let's see if we can get a few more attackers on the pitch and just try and get at them. So, look, I think that's what he did. Where the hell is... Anyway, look, I've given Matt Martinez a 6 as well. I don't know where he is hiding. Maybe he didn't come up today. Is that him there? There he is. Martinez gets a 6. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Sabitzer, I'm giving him a 6 as well. And you know what? It's funny because McTominay also got a 6. He didn't do too badly. He did win the ball a lot. He did work hard, but he just doesn't have that extra little bit of something about him. He just doesn't. And that's why he got a 6. And it's one of them things, isn't it? It's like, it's not what he... It's not what he didn't do. It's what he doesn't have. It's just what he doesn't have. He doesn't have that extra bit of something that you need in there to make the difference in midfield. And it really does. It really is apparent when Casemiro's not playing. It's just really apparent that we're missing that kind of player. Just think about how many games we played where things were up and down, it's end to end, and people were running through our midfield for so many years. And that's because we didn't have a Casemiro. And before that, like I said, it was Carrick. So many years ago, it was Carrick. And the only reason why he got picked was because of his height. Exactly. He got picked there and no Fred. I felt Fred might have been able to give us the legs, but he probably would have given the ball away the same. But look, Sabitzer didn't really make a difference. And I don't really like seeing Sabitzer playing, to be honest, without Casemiro. And I haven't seen him yet. So we're still yet to see the best of this man. I want to see him when Casemiro comes back. I want to see him play with him. But the thing is, Eriksen will probably be back by then. Then Sabitzer won't really get too many minutes. Or he'll be in the rotation instead of McTominay? Or will he be in the rotation instead of Fred? Let's see. I think Fred has cemented his position as coming on and being that second kind of player in there. So he's done okay. McTominay, like I said, he got 6 as well. Bruno Fernandes, I think he's a 5 today. He didn't really do a lot, man. I don't know what happened, but he was playing in a hole, wasn't he? It just wasn't his game today. These are the kind of games where you just really you just write them off for this guy, because it's a game of needing to stand up, weather the storm, keep the ball under pressure, and keep it moving. I think he's like a secondary ball player, where like you've got the primary players. What I mean by that is the Shaw, the Martinez, the Casemiro. These are the primary players on the ball. If they keep the ball well, Bruno can help and keep the ball. But if they're not keeping the ball and it's on Bruno to be a primary player, I think you see him giving the ball away a bit too much and just making silly passes where he doesn't need to. So yeah, I think didn't really do anything in attack for us, and it's just not good enough. Anthony, I'm giving him a 7. You know why? Because he was the most bright spark. He was the brightest spark in our team today, by a long mile. But the thing is, he was the brightest spark, but at the same time, he didn't really produce anything that was leading to a goal or a chance. He did actually play a nice flick on for, I think it was McTominay overlapping him. No, it was Dalot. Then he put the ball in the box, and then we could have had a good chance from that. So Anthony, he was running with the ball quite well as well. He was causing a bit of trouble, looking dangerous, I should say, but not actually coming to anything really special. So yeah, Anthony looked okay, but I did want to see Martial and Sancho come on. I wanted to see Sancho come on the right, Martial up front, and Rashford moved over to the left. I thought he might keep Weghorst on and maybe move Weghorst into the hole and then move Bruno back one and take off one of the two of Sabitzer and McTominay. But he just went with taking off Weghorst, and who else did he take off? Took off Weghorst and someone else. I can't remember who come off. But yeah, they came off, and Anthony. It was Anthony. I'm looking at him in the face. Anthony comes off and he's upset. And he should be, to be fair, because Rashford was playing so pants. But I would have kept Rashford on myself as well, because Rashford was actually, not only because he's not playing well, but you know what he's capable of if you do get him a chance. And he's more of a goal threat if you bring on the other players. And I'm sure Ten Hag was thinking about the pre-season front three, Sancho, Rashford, Martial. Let me get them 3 on, and then we'll see what happens. I'm quite sure. But Rashford today, mate, gets a 4. He played so bad. He was nowhere to be seen. Didn't do anything. Nothing off his own back. Nothing with link up. Nothing. He was just nowhere to be seen. And I can't say much more than that. He was nowhere to be seen. I'm not going to say anything more because he's been absolutely carrying us for goals since the World Cup, since the World Cup finished, and we've come back since the turn of the year. So, you know what? He's allowed to have a game off where he's not played so well. So, yeah, I'm going with him. And then I've got Weghorst. I'm going with Weghorst as well. I think he got a 3. He didn't do a thing. He didn't even touch the ball in the first, 35 minutes. And then he got a shot which he hits the side netting in. He should be hitting the target there. How are you not going across goal and hitting the target? You need to be able to hit the target there, man. Like, I'm a striker. I know what's needed. Hit the target. Like, you can't, there's no point hitting the side netting. You'll never score. Even if it was slower and you hit the target, I wouldn't mind. But you can't be missing from there. It wasn't that tight an angle that you can't hit it across the keeper and then the keeper spills it and someone else gets on the end of it. They're the kind of chances that we need to be putting away or at least making the keeper work. Keeper didn't work at all. Not happy. Weghorst did nothing today. We need more. We need more. And I was so happy to see Martial come back on and not come off injured. Hopefully he's okay and he can recover tomorrow. And hopefully he'll be involved in the next game against Brentford because we really, really need him against Brentford. We do not need to be toothless again. We cannot be toothless again. So either play him in, Weghorst needs to be played in the cam position or not playing at all. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him on the right wing. I don't want to see him up front again while we have Martial fit. That's all I'm saying. We don't need it. So that was the first 11. And there's just a point to make on Sancho. Because Sancho comes on and I'm not happy. I don't know what you think, but I'm not happy with Sancho. His work rate ain't good enough, mate. You know what? I'm not happy. I don't know what you lot see, but why is it when he's ever running for a ball, he's never going to win it? Why can't he be first to the ball? If you're racing, it's 50-50. Get first to the ball or at least put a good challenge in where you're going to win it. Don't run up to the ball and go near it and don't do nothing. Like, it's getting on my nerves. And I like Sancho. I want to see him do really well, but it's really getting on my nerves at the moment. You came on and you didn't affect the game one bit. Not one bit. You got on in a couple of situations. I know not many situations he got into, but he didn't affect the game enough at all. Martial looks busy and gets a nice left foot shot. It got blocked, but it was nice. It was nice to see that he created something for himself. So, yeah. And then the others who came on, look, Lindelof comes on, the others come on. There wasn't really anything there. But overall, I've got to say, Ten Hag, I think he made a little error there, starting with the wrong player. If Martial's fully fit, but again, that's in hindsight. I would have still stuck with Weghorst myself, having him played all them times, and then hopefully giving Martial 30 minutes towards the end anyway. So really, with Dalot injured, so I can't play Wan-Bissaka. That was a player who I would have definitely started rather than this guy. So come to think of it, yeah, I think he picked a pretty good enough team starting lineup that you thought could do a job there, considering the options he has. The only problem is there is no midfield, and we was always going to struggle. So looking at Ten Hag, I'm actually going to give him a 5 out of 10. This is the lowest mark he's ever got from me. And that's just because his starting lineup, we didn't control the game. We had no chances. When he brought on players, his in-game management, he brought on the right players who I wanted to see come on. Maybe not for the right players coming off. And at the same time, they didn't have an effect on the result. We actually lost 2-0 from when they came on, actually. So in the end, Ten Hag gets a 5 for the first time, I think. Okay, he might have got a 5 against Brentford and away and at home against Brighton in the first couple games. But apart from that, Ten Hag, I've not got a bad word to say about this guy because I could see why he took off Varane and Martinez as well to try and play caution to the wind and just try and get a goal. Go for it. Just go for it. We're already down. We're not playing well. We're conceding chance after chance after chance. We're already 1-0 down. Let's just get another player on and see if we can get a goal. They were wasting time as well. They were trying to obviously play on everything that Ten Hag was saying. And that's why you don't really want to mention like Newcastle. They try to annoy you. Because when you lose in a game like this and then they're annoying you, it feels so much worse. It feels so much worse. I'm not happy with that. So Ten Hag, a bit naive there on that one, I would say. But look, it's one game. It's out the way. It's one game, another game, sorry. But look, Newcastle have overtaken us in that third spot. We are now 4th. Tottenham are very close to us. We are struggling. If no Casemiro, we are struggling. So we need to sort something out. We need to sort out winning one of these 2 games. We've got to beat Brentford at Old Trafford, and we've got to do something against Everton at Old Trafford as well, or whether it's away or not, I'm not sure. But the next 2 games are very crucial without Casemiro. When he comes back, I expect us to win games because we will control games straight away. I'm sure of that. So we will kill it. But look, bad day at the office. It wasn't good. Jinwei says we cannot guarantee top 4, so I think winning the Europa League, just make sure we qualify the Champions League. Yeah, I think so. We can't guarantee it. We just can't. And especially with Brighton still to come, Brentford now. These 2 games I'm really worried about. Once Casemiro's back, I won't be worried anymore. I think we've got the players. If everyone's fit, we are definitely favourites to win the rest of them games. But seriously, I ain't got a good feeling about Brentford game. Brentford game, we are going to struggle. I can guarantee you that. The same way we struggle today, we are going to struggle without Casemiro against Brentford. It's just one of them things. Think about it. We struggled against Leeds. They look like a world beaters. They look like early on. And also Leicester. Remember that first half. So Brentford are going to stick it on us. Like Ivan Tonium and Brenner, they're going to stick it on us. And we better be ready for the fight this time. Old Trafford, let's go. We need to win. But until then, guys, peace out. Stay safe and join me for the preview day before the game. Peace.